when Hedda Johannesson, like most of her school year group, received a questionnaire to determine whether she would be drafted. She considered herself anti-war, but after passing the necessary intelligence, physical and psychological tests, the 18-year-old behavioral science student will soon spend 11 months learning about chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear warfare. It has only been a year and a half since Sweden submitted its application to NATO. This marks sharp change in the historically neutral country's approach to defense and international relations. But a sense of potential conflict has gripped the country in recent weeks, with citizens warned to brace themselves for the possibility of war. I took the tests and then they hired me whether I wanted it or not, Johannesson said. With what's on in Ukraine, I want to protect people who can protect it. Because if there's going to be a war in Sweden, someone's have to do it. And that could me. While not everyone will be required to serve in military, only a small fraction of population is drafted against their will starting Friday. Government is also reintroducing compulsory civic duty, a type of national service that was abolished after Cold War. And on January 19, Sweden reintroduces civil obligation. He told the public that it was citizens' responsibility to ensure Sweden's security, saying citizenship is not a travel document. Jonathan NackstrandAFP, we are not wasting time waiting for final approvals, he said, referring to the pause of NATO members Hungary and Turkey, whether they support it or not. This national change of direction is already changing young people's lives and prospects. Johannesson is one of around 100,000 young people who will be called up for military service next year. About 10 of them will do so reluctantly. In the past, only those who expressed interest in serving were required to do so. But insufficient numbers last year led officials to change policy. The new compulsory civic duty will initially only apply to those trained in emergency services and electricity supply. But it is the first step in what is expected to be a much wider national service program. Swedish Civil Defense Minister Carl-Oskar Bohlin, who announced at the conference that there may be a war in Sweden, said that a full return to civic duty was considered further down the line. Swedish Civil Defense Minister Carl-Oskar Bohlin said that there may be a war in Sweden. Pontus LundahlEPA He said Friday's announcement marked the reinstatement of civic duty for the first time since it ended in 2008. This reactivation will take place in two sectors, primarily municipal rescue services, he said. He said emergency services would be called in for extension training covering combat conditions, including learning how to handle unexploded ordnance. Many young people say their generation has been shaken by a series of world events. As I grew up and got older, one thing after another happened.